Hello students, let us revise constructors and destructors. In this video, we will learn about constructors, types of constructors, destructors, and some examples based on them. Now let us move to the introduction to constructors. A constructor is a member function. It has the same name as the class name. Constructors cannot return any values, not even void. It is automatically called when an object is created. So constructors are used to construct objects, to create objects. Let us move on to destructors. Destructors are used to deallocate memory. Memory which is created by the constructors can be deallocated by the destructors. They are called when an object is destroyed. A destructor takes no argument and has no return type. It has the same name as the class name followed by a tilde sign. Now we will see the types of constructors. Three types of constructors are there: parameterized constructors, copy constructors, and default. A constructor that accepts no parameter is called the default constructor. Suppose our class name is time, so our default constructor will be like time. If default constructor is not defined in the class, then the compiler supplies a default constructor. When the object of class time is created like time objx, then default constructor is invoked. You can see there is no parameter passed to this object. Constructors that can take arguments are called parameterized constructors. We can see time is a parameterized constructor over here, and two parameters h and m are passed to this time constructor. So this is the example of parameterized constructor. Third is copy constructor. A copy constructor is used to declare and initialize an object from another object. It is used to copy one object to other object. A copy constructor can accept a reference to its own class as a parameter. For example, class time, and we are passing a reference of this class to this time constructor. So we can invoke a copy constructor like this. Time is the class name and T2 and T1 are two objects of this time class. We are copying T1 to T2. Now we will see program based on these three constructors. I have already typed program on editor. I will open it now. In this program, we will perform addition of two numbers using constructor. Let me explain the code now. This is our header file iOS stream. Here we have used std namespace. Then we have class addition. Num1, num2 are two integer type variables. These are private members of class addition. By default, these are private members because we can see there is no access specifier. Then we have public specifier over here. Then we have the constructor addition. The constructor have same name as the class name. We have passed two arguments here. Now we have defined the destructor. For this we used tilde sign followed by the class name. Now we have public function add. This function returns addition of two numbers, num1 and num2. And this is how we close our class. Here we access the constructor using scope resolution operator, class name, scope resolution operator, and the constructor addition. This is the parameterized constructor. You can see we are passing two parameters, num1 and num2, to this addition constructor. As you can see, num1 and num2, we are using the same parameter as we have declared in the class addition. So for this, we have to use this operator to access these private members declared over here, num1 and num2. This num1 we are passing to private member num1 and this num2 we are passing to private member num2. Here we are defining our destructor, class name, scope resolution operator, tilde sign followed by the class name. So this is our destructor in which we print memory deallocation. This is our main function. Here we create an object obj of class addition. Then we pass two arguments as 2 and 3. 2 will be stored in num1 and 3 will be stored in num2. The constructor that have argument is called as parameterized constructor. Hence, this one is parameterized constructor. Here we call the function add using the object obj.add, and we are printing our output as addition is, and return 0 is our return statement. Now let us execute this program. We are getting output in the form of addition is 5. Our number was 2 and 3. So output is addition is 5. And we are also getting memory deallocation. This statement we have printed in destructor. Here destructor is called automatically because our object is getting destroyed. Now let us move on to default constructor. We will see a program based on default constructor. The file name is default.cpp. This program is based on default constructor. If the constructor is not declared in the class, then compiler assumes the default constructor for the class. Here we can see there is no constructor declared in this class. Now let me explain this code. IOStream is our header file. We have used std namespace. Then I have class subtraction. Num1 and num2 are two variables of type int, and by default they are private member of this class subtraction because there is no access specifier. Then we have public access specifier. So this sub is a public function of this class. Int is the return type of this sub function, and this sub function takes two arguments, num1 and num2 of type int, and sub function returns subtraction of num1 and num2. This is our main function. In this main function, I have created object as obj of class subtraction. And here I have called function sub by using this object obj.sub 5,3. This sub function takes two arguments 5 and 3. So the value of num1 will be 5, the value of num2 will be 3. Return 0 is our return statement. Now let us execute this program. This is our output. Subtraction is 2. As we can see, there is no constructor declared in the class. We can also write this program by declaring a default constructor like this. This will be our default constructor. Now let us execute the program again. You can see we are getting the same output over here. We can also write the default constructor like this. We have declared default constructor over here. Now I am going to define this default constructor after the class. So we have to use scope resolution operator over here. This will be the definition of our default constructor. Now let us execute this program again. We are getting the same output. Subtraction is 2. As you can see, there is no parameter passed to this object because this is the program of default constructor. Whereas in our previous example, we have passed parameters to this object obj. This is the difference between default constructor and parameterized constructor. Our previous example was based on parameterized constructor. Now we will see third example based on copy constructor. I have already typed this program. Let me open it. This is the example of copy constructor. Note that file name is copycons.cpp. Let me explain this code. iStream is our header file. I've used std namespace. Then we have class copycons. Int num is defined as public. So num is the public member of copycons class. Now let us switch back to the slides to revise copy constructor again. Copy constructor is used to declare and initialize an object from another object. So basically it is used to copy one object to other object. It can accept a reference to its own class as a parameter. As we can see over here, this time is the class and we are passing a reference of this class to this constructor. So this is the example of copy constructor. Now let us move back to our program. This is the example of copy constructor. So this copy cons is a parameterized constructor. We are passing one parameter to this constructor, int a, and here we are assigning the value of a to num. Now this copy cons, this is the example of copy constructor. This is the way of defining copy constructor. We are passing a reference of its own class to this copy cons, and we are assigning the value of num to this num as i.num. This is our main function. We are creating one object a1 and passing value 20 to this object. So by this way we are calling our parameterized constructor. Here the value of a will be 20 and we are assigning this 20 value to num by calling this parameterized constructor. This is our printing statement. We are printing the value of a1 as object a1 is a1.num. By this statement we are displaying the value of a1. Here I am creating second object a2 and I am passing the value of a1, the value of object a1 to object a2. This is the way of creating copy constructor. Here I am displaying the object a2 by a2.num. This is our return statement. Now let us execute this program. Object a1 is 20 and object a2 is 20. As we can see, we have not passed any value to this a2 object, but we have passed one object a1 to this a2. So in the output we are getting the same value for a1 and a2. Let us move back to our slides. Let us summarize what we have learned in this video. We have learned constructor. Addition was our constructor, parameterized constructor. Addition 2, 3 was our parameterized constructor. Destructor, tilde sign followed by the constructor name. Default constructor, here subtraction was our default constructor. And copy constructor. Copy cons was our copy constructor. By the help of this video, you can quickly revise your concepts based on constructors and destructors. Thank you.